Hey, my friends, it's Deborah Stern from Stages of Life Fitness and Nutrition. It's been a while. Anyway, today what I want to do is just explain a way that you can help prevent knee issues in the future. If you haven't had any, this is a great way to just keep, staying strong with your knees. If you have had issues, the reason why I figured this one out is I had two different clients that were totally different. One was in her 20s, one was in her 50s. Both had knee issues, both went to see totally different doctors. And they each came back and said, we don't have to have surgery, we just have very tight IT bands. And they said and recommended to make sure to stretch the IT bands. Once I heard that myself, I have been religiously stretching and rolling my IT bands because I would like to know that, again, I can, prevent injury in my knees as much as I can. So the IT band, kind of a little hard to explain, but it goes from the hip and it kind of like curves around. I guess I'll do this. So it goes kind of from the hip here and it curves kind of around to the front, right? So when you can push it, it hurts. It's painful, but it can also be like a good pain. But what's happening is the IT band is going around towards the knee. If this is tight, it's pulling on the knees, right? So I call it kind of like a speed bump that's right here in this area of the leg. When you roll and when you actually kind of understand what you're doing, you will feel this area, and that little bump, when it gets bigger, again, think of it, it's taking up space, so it's pulling on the knee. So that's why I say this part is really important to kind of just figure out and understand where your, I guess we'll just keep calling it a speed bump is. The way that I kind of deal with this, and this hurts in a good way, but it can also, if you're not used to it, it can be pretty painful. So what I do is I will just get myself on the roller on the side. You're not on the side in terms of on your bone. You're kind of a little forward. And as you go up, I kind of will twist to the hip. So I'm following that IT band kind of path. Once I start down here and I find, that speed bump, I can just feel it going bink, bink, I will go slow and just stay on that bump probably for about a minute, just because I know exactly what's happening is what I'm rolling out the tightness, which is going to help prevent any knee issues. If it is tight and you're having knee issues and you roll it out, the coolest thing is that all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, my knees actually feel a little better. So if it's too much pressure, what you can do is when you get to the side, bring one leg up here so that you're just kind of rolling and controlling some of that pressure. If you don't feel it, it means that you're not putting enough weight on the roller. But this is another way of doing it so that, again, it's not as painful. Another really good way to do this if you don't have a roller, and ironically, I don't have a rolling pin. I used to have a really great apparatus that was just, it's a handheld roller, and you can get it on Amazon or whatever. But even if you have a rolling pin, if you're sitting, in a chair, or if you're sitting even just, on a, hold on, that was silly. So if you're even just sitting on a chair and you have the rolling pin, you can roll that IT band. Okay, so you can roll, you can get that speed bump, you can feel it and go over it. Now, the only thing with this is that you want to pay attention to what the rest of your body is doing. You don't want to be like contorted and in your back and rolling. You really want to, again, pay attention to the rest of your body as you're doing this so that you're not, going to injure anything else. But again, I highly recommend keeping your IT bands loose in terms of, just stretching, but you can't really stretch them as much as you can roll them, meaning it's kind of like a massage. You're literally kneading out those muscles that are tight. And again, that muscle, along with that part that I was talking about is the speed bump, once that gets really tight, think about it again, it's taking up space, and so therefore it's pulling on the knee. And this is what I also talk about when we, I have a video for hamstring stretches, same thing. If the hamstrings are tight, it's pulling on your lower back and on your knees. So these are areas that are really important to just make sure that you do not, that they don't get so tight that they're pulling on the other parts of your body, okay? So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully it feels good and that you can continue doing it. All right, have a wonderful day.